Good morning, everybody. Now, this is a special one. I have three of the favorite people in the entire world. Just happens that they're all really handsome men as well. So, one, we're here today to discuss Firies Climb for MND, which is one of the biggest fundraisers for Macquarie Uni for Dom's MND clinic in Sydney. And so we have Gavin Clifton, Professor Dominic Rowe, and the beautiful Phil Camden. So we're going to start with Gavin. I want you to tell us what is Firies Climb for MND, babe.
Morning, Jane. Thanks for having me. Morning, Dom. Morning, Phil. Firies Climb for MND. So Firies Climb for MND originally started back in 2015 by Matt Pridham for a really good mate of his by the name of Adam, who sadly has since passed away from motor neuron disease. Matt started that climb to create awareness and raise funds for research into MND. Moving forward to 2025, we used to do the climb up the Centre Point Tower in Full Kit. That lasted about 4 years. 2020, the spicy cough kicked in, and unfortunately we couldn't do the tower climb anymore, so we came up with a new venue, the Firies Stairs in the Blue Mountains at Scenic World there, out in nature, and that event's now been going for 6 years, Jay. And what we're doing is we climb up and down the Firies Stairs for a 24-hour period or a 1-hour period, 5-hour period, whatever you choose. Basically, the local running community, Firies community, and just general community have got involved and given this event some life again. This year, for the first time, on the Saturday morning of the climb, so we start midday Friday. On the 29th of August, we go through to midday Saturday. On the 30th of August, we'll have Firies climbing on the stairs this year in full kit like we used to up the tower. So it's taking a whole new dynamic again. So it'll be a mix of runners, trail runners, hikers, and Firies for a 24-hour period, all with the same goal in mind of trying to raise as much money as we can for motor neuron disease and for Dom and everyone else.
You neglected to mention that the Firies stairs are 951 stairs down and 951 stairs up.
Correct, yes.
Mm.
They are. So, yes, there are. There's 300 more stairs than what there was in the tower climb. So in the tower climb, we used to climb 1,504 stairs on 98 floors. We've added an extra 300 and something odd stairs for the climb this year. Since we decided to do it on the Firies Stairs. But again, it being out in nature, climbing all night, watching the sun come up over the back of the Three Sisters, and just being with community, with people that want to push themselves harder. For people that are doing it really hard, I guess all that pain goes away. You don't even really think about it. And I can excitedly share with everyone this morning that as of this morning, we've just rolled over $72,000 for this climb, which I'm absolutely blown away. There's been exponential growth in the event each year, and there's been more interest in the event each year. This year, we've got people coming from all over Australia, Firies coming from all over Australia. We've got actually Firies coming over from New Zealand this year. The word's really getting around. We've got running groups from Sydney coming up to do it this year. It's going to be a bucket load of people up there, just having fun. And if I can describe to your viewers what it's like being out there on the stairs with everyone, and sharing this, and again, all working toward this same goal. Real friendships and real bonds are formed over that 12-hour period or 24-hour period. People finish their climbing, they hang about up the top, they encourage people. It's just such a good feel thing, where everyone's just determined to push themselves as hard as they can for others, and it's got a lot of love about it.
I was up there last year. I didn't do the stairs because I'm not an idiot. But I noticed, besides the fact that everyone was doing it for MND, is that the sense of community was mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's so strong, Jane. It's unbelievably strong, and I think it gets stronger each year. I mean, this year, from probably the month of March, I've had people reaching out, messages, emails, asking when's the climb this year, what date have we got the climb this year. So it's very exciting. It'll be the biggest thing happening in the Blue Mountains that weekend, which we're all looking really forward to, and got some wonderful partners involved behind it who help push this and promote it. We're very grateful for that. Local businesses and and we're now starting to get some media exposure down in Sydney again, which is fantastic. So, yeah, look, the more the people, the merrier, and the more exposure that we can create for this, the better, I guess.
Dom, I was there last year when I watched you do not one, not two, but three rounds with the Ferber stairs. And yes, I was a little panicky that you were going to die, but that's okay. So I want you to discuss two things. Why this fundraiser is so vital for your clinic. And two, if we could after that discuss what happened at the fundraiser this year, um, and with people sponsoring you to do the Ferber stairs.
Thanks, Jane. Listen, yeah, it was just such an amazing event last year. I'm sure that Matt and Gavin thought I was going to croak.
You all did, mate.
um, but spending time talking to the different people who were doing it, not for themselves, not to get recognition, but for motor neurone disease. Finn, a little 12-year-old kid from I
He's
can't.
from when he falls, Dom.
Yeah, and so he raised $1,300 last year, and I see that he's exceeded that this year. And it was just an extraordinary event. Or as Gavin said, to be in the beautiful Blue Mountains at Scenic World, doing the podcast on Thursday night, then the event on Friday, kicking through into Saturday. It was just a real privilege to be part of it.
Mm.
And so this year at the gala dinner, so last year the Peacock family won the auction prize of me doing the Ferber stairs once, which they bought because they wanted to perhaps see me croak. But what they did this year was for $1,000 a throw, I got sponsored to do 22 laps of the Ferber stairs coming up at the end of this month. Now, it was really interesting because I saw who my friends were at that event, because it just kept on going up and up and
Yeah.
up and up.
Mm.
And Jason, the auctioneer, I think quite relished the idea of me having to haul my sad old sorry ass 22 times up and down the Ferber stairs. But anyhow, in the words of Blackadder, Baldric, I have a cunning plan. So I've actually taken the liberty of allowing people to volunteer to do some of the laps for me. And for that, they will get a Doppelganger t-shirt and a bald cap. Now, you don't have to run in a bald cap, but you do have to do a photo if you get a Doppelganger t-shirt and do a lap with me. So it's still a little bit fluid. We've had quite a few people saying that they will do laps. The importance of the whole fundraising event is not just reflecting on the 1,300 people that I've looked after in the last 15 years with motor neurone disease, 1,150 of those who have died. So it's important to reflect that this disease, unfortunately, is still uniformly fatal. And, so Adam Regal, for whom this event was founded by Matt Pridham, died from his SOD1 motor neurone disease. Now, the bittersweet reality is that, this week we're one of 20 sites in the world for a novel therapy to kick SOD1 right in the arse, made by a company called Regeneron. And, we've talked about tofersen and how tofersen has been a game changer to knock down SOD1. Well, that's a technique called antisense. And this Regeneron trial hijacks the cell's own ability to suppress genes. And so it's 300% more effective at knocking down SOD1. So while tofersen has tripled, quadrupled, or even increased people's survival by 5-fold, this Regeneron may be even more effective than that. And next week, our first patient. So there were 3 spots released worldwide, and we bid for those spots, and we got one of those spots, and our patient starts next week with this Regeneron trial. None of that happens without the support of the Firies Climb, because this is brute force money. So I have 3 full-time clinical trial staff. The wages alone are more than $500,000. In addition to all the infrastructure and the bells and whistles that go around both investigator and sponsor-driven trials. So it takes us about 12 months from conception to execution of getting a trial. That's the lead time. And so that fortunately gives us preeminence in the trial space in Australia. We're not limited to sponsor-driven trials as some of the other trial sites are. In fact, Q4 this year, we have CTX 1000 coming into the trial arena at Macquarie. It's Macquarie conceived and executed. There's no placebo in this trial. As you know, my visceral hatred of placebos in motor neuron disease trials.
Cruel.
So we have this CTX 1000 coming into clinic, and this is a gene therapy that's aimed at TDP43, which is a uniform biological abnormality, not just in most genetic motor neuron disease, but also in sporadic motor neuron disease. So we may have a gene therapy for a sporadic disease, maybe. And then the other thing that's great about CTX 1000 is that it's a single shot therapy. It's your one and done.
What?
It's a single shot therapy.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit Stephen King, and we'll talk a bit more about it as it comes into the home straight. But we're very excited that Lars Ittner and Yazi Key and their team here at Macquarie have developed this therapy right from the get-go. So, as a legacy of Adam and Kylie and their 2 beautiful kids, AJ and Ciara, that's with the Colonel, with Matty Pridham wanting to help out his mate. That baton is handed to Gavin and all the guys in fire and rescue. And, the importance of community-driven fundraising, that it's fundraising by us, for us, is can't be underestimated.
Well, if it wasn't fundraising by us for us, there would be bugger all funds, Dom.
True.
So it's imperative.
True. Well, as you know, Jane, I'm shameless. Where there's money involved, I'll do anything. Well, almost anything.
Okay, so I saw your wife's face after the 22 lap bids, and she's not too keen on you doing 22 rounds of further stairs.
No, well, I have been in training, and so I'm down to just over 5-minute Ks, and so I don't know how many of the 22 that I will get done, but like I said, Baldrick, I have a cunning plan.
Very good.
Phil Camden is my very dear friend and has also been a patient of Dom's for how long now, you two?
He forgot our 10th anniversary, I think.
Yeah, it's 11, 12 years now.
Yeah.
So Phil is living with MND and living beautifully. So Phil, you were there at the first stair climb 10 years ago. You weren't walking it, dude, but you were there.
No, I actually knew Adam, and then when Adam passed, I was living in Newcastle and thought, man, I need to get down to the Sydney Tower, and went to the Sydney Tower, climbed there and went up the top, and I just could not believe the effort and the energy that was put into this climb, and I would embrace these fireys coming up through the door, and some of them had vomited, some of them had, it was just amazing, and the sweat and I thought, well, it's probably not gonna, it's gonna peter out now, but as Professor Dom has said, the baton's been passed on, and it's just gotten better and better every year. And because of Adam, and he didn't die in vain. He started something that not only funds being raised, but a cure soon to be for SOD1 is just amazing. It's just a tremendous legacy. And so then I went to a couple of the stair climbs, and I thought, mate, this is unbelievable. Like you talk about the ice bucket, that's over in a few seconds. And they say, it's like MND. Well, the stair climb is more a picture of what MND is like after they've done it for 12 hours or 24 hours. They can hardly move. Their muscles are wasted. And when I saw that, I thought, this is a picture of what MND really does. It takes a fit, healthy person, and in a matter of 27 months can rob them of all of their strength, and their life ultimately, and so I take my hat off to Gavin and to Professor Dom for all the work they're doing, and just so appreciative, on behalf of all the people with motor neuron disease, that they would continue to carry this and do it. I went across the other side of the cliff because I really couldn't tell what I could see them come up the cliff and see them at the end, and they're puffing. So I said to my carer, take me around to the other side. And I was just blown away. I got video on my phone. I got videos of them climbing up and down, and you can just see this ribbon of people climbing up and down the stairs. And it is a monster of a climb. So the effort and the energy is unbelievable, and I just appreciate the time that they put in. And I've moved from Newcastle now, 11 hours away from the Blue Mountains, but it pains me every year that and this year, who knows, I might be able to get up there for a few hours on the Saturday and drive straight back on after it, but we'll see what happens. But it's something that I really think the MND community should be really aware of, the effort, the energy, and the focus that these guys are putting in there. It's just amazing. And to the memory of Adam, what a champion that he was. And yeah.
But also, Phil, as someone living with MND, what we heard before from Dom is glimpses of hope.
Oh, absolutely. And all those people that have died with MND in the past, the seeds of their death are going to bring forth fruit in the future of a cure. And one day, Professor Dom will be able to say to people diagnosed with motor neuron disease, don't worry about it. The people who have died before you have paved the path for a cure, and here it is. And that is our dream. That's our goal. And I don't think we should ever forget the tremendous pain that these guys went through before us to bring about that cure. It's amazing.
Sorry. Gavin, how can we help you?
Just create. You all right, mate? You all good?
Yep, I'm good.
Just try and create, just continue. We just need to continue to spread the word and create as much awareness as we can, sharing everyone. Firies Climb for mnd.org.au. If I can just jump on something and go back to something that Phil said, one of the reasons that I have such a passion for this, and I know other people that have a passion for this, is when we used to do the tower climb, and in past interviews, people may have heard this, but at the bottom, we were greeted by people who were suffering MND, and we were greeted at the top by people who were suffering MND. And one of the strongest memories I have that will never, ever leave me, ever, is that they would say thank you to us at the top, and they'd be trying to help us get our gear off and give us electrolytes and give us drinks, and we're sweating like pigs and whatever. And I'd sort of just think, you don't need to thank us. You don't need to thank anyone for this. This is all good. This is why we're doing this. And one of the confronting things that we did find, and the reasons that we wanted to continue the climb after the tower climb closing, was the fact that what are we going to do? We're still going to need to keep funding for this, because you would turn up the year later at a climb and people had passed and they weren't there. And that's the memory that stuck with me and a lot of other people, which is why there was this real sense of, it was almost like we're obligated to continue this and keep this going. So you can help just by spreading the word, sharing the link. As I said, Firies Climb for mnd.org.au. That's about the best thing that we can do. The more people that know about this, the better. And just anyone listening to this, if you can get up to the Blue Mountains on the 29th and the 30th of August, whether it's to spectate, whether it's to donate, whether it's to participate, see the old bald fat bastard climbing up and down the stairs a couple of times. You know, there'll be plenty of fireys to look after him there. He'll be okay, everyone, I promise. But try get up there with us and enjoy this and see this for what it really is, because the community gathering and the love and the spirit in this event is truly unique, I promise you.
I can vouch for that. I can't come this year, but it's already in my diary for next year. So, Dom, final word for you, mate. What are you now? Fat, old, fat, over
The
60.
bolder, fatter, grayer, and over 60.
Dude, where's the grey bit come in? Just your eyebrows? Because there's nothing on the top of your head. Okay, there you go. Dom just had a big birthday this year, so
Well, I was walking down the corridor with one of my patients a couple of days ago, and I said, I've got a 0 birthday coming up next week. And she said, well, you look pretty good for 70. Anyhow, I'll take it. I'll take any sort of compliment I can get, even a backhander. Yeah, look, it's so our effort here at Macquarie is now just on 110 staff. We've had multiple abstracts accepted into San Diego as platforms and posters. But, you know, the most important thing is getting novel therapies into patients as soon as possible. If I can get access to the companies in the sponsor-driven trials to try and turn their heads away from the fact that we do not need placebos to work out whether a drug is effective or not. We don't need placebos to work out whether parachutes work. We don't need placebos to work out that citrus juice fixes scurvy. We do not need placebos in working out whether we've got a therapy that truly makes a difference in motor neuron disease. Unfortunately, you know, recently the TGA and the PBAC have approved for use a drug that doesn't work. Edaravone doesn't work. There's one tiny post hoc analysis of a phase 2 study that got the FDA to approve it. And now around Australia, all these people are thinking, and the neurologists are thinking that they're doing the right thing by asking people to go to hospital 14 consecutive days or having chemo at home 14 consecutive days for a drug that doesn't work.
And the protocol on that is just cruel.
It's not approved for use in Europe. It's had multiple post-marketing surveillance studies. The company does not intend on going back to the European medicines to get it approved in Europe. So why was it approved here in Australia? Why did the TGA approve it? And why has the PBAC approved it for a tiny percentage of people? It's cruel and unusual, but you know, I don't know exactly how we can unscramble that omelette. So I saw a fellow last week down from Tamworth who's recently been diagnosed with motor neuron disease. They put in a portacath and he's finished his first cycle of edaravone. And I said, listen, just take the portacath out. Don't do that. So, you know, it's a pity that this situation has arisen. I think it's unfortunately amplified by what was the different associations and you know, interest groups thought they were doing the right thing in lobbying the feds and the TGA to get it approved. But you've got to take a step back and ask yourself, does this therapy work or not? And if it doesn't work, don't do it. So, you know, we do have effective therapies now coming through for SOD1 motor neuron disease. Not one, but two. I never thought I'd see that in my career. And next week, we're one of 3 sites in the world to start this Regeneron trial. And we have genomic therapies that will be coming through in Q4 this year that may be one and done, maybe one and done. So it's still early days and we're not there yet, but even that we're talking about a genomic therapy to improve TDP43 is quite remarkable. As you know, I'm not religious, so I can't use the word miracle, but
it's all right. Phil can do it for you.
Yes, Phil can do it for me. You got the religious cred, Phil. As did Robert. He and I had many theological discussions.
You did, yeah.
But you know, it really the kudos has to be straight at Gavin and his team. Gavin is the engine room of this, and he's jumped off the platform that Matt Pridham started. But you know, he won't necessarily accept the kudos that he deserves because that's just not the way he rolls. But you know, he's managed to re-engage fire and rescue, which in and of itself is quite a remarkable thing. And you know, we're easily going to knock past 100K, lad. We're aiming for 200.
That sounds good. That sounds really good.
Yeah, I'm going to tip in there too. Gavin is one of the most passionate advocates, fundraisers. He is like a dog with a bone. He will not let this go. He and I speak regularly or text, and I feel like I'm letting you down this year that I'm not going to be there, but I am trying to do everything within my power to support you whilst not being there. But you're a very good man. A very good man. Thank you.
I thought that's my absolute pleasure. Hadn't we promised that we were going to FaceTime each other, Jane, when it was on some stage, wherever you were, we were going to FaceTime, weren't we?
We are, but only if Dom's with you so I can make sure he's alive.
I'll send you a half-hourly text. You'll be okay, Jane, I promise.
You know, look, when I stopped playing soccer 6 years ago, and
Old man soccer, let's call it.
old man soccer, but it was still willing. It was, you know, over 45s and it was willing, but our team used to give us the same, we get the same awards every year. And the award that I got every year was that I was the person who was most likely to render medical assistance to an injured opposition player, having caused the injury in the first place. Old man football. Sal eventually stopped coming. She said, why do you play with so much aggression? I said, it's not aggressive. It's just footy.
Yeah. Okay.
And my son Davey came to watch, and he said, Dad, he said, there's pretty good skill, but he said, but you're all too fucking slow.
Oh.
We got one F-bomb in. I was waiting for it.
As long as you're all slow, it's competitive.
Yeah, that's right. As long as you control the ball.
Yeah,
That's right.
Dom, I thought I was very well behaved today. Dom and I had a competition at his recent fundraiser. I think we were
Neck and neck.
with the F-bombs.
Yeah. I think we need to perhaps, my wife did suggest at another fundraiser that you could actually run a book on how much profanity I drop in my speech. I don't know if the cap fits.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I promised Gav I'll release this afternoon, and we're going to get it out and about. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Jane, for having me. And look, Gavin, thank you, mate. Like, you're a champion, buddy, and we all with MND appreciate the tremendous effort, and keep going, buddy. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure, Phil. It's good to see your face again, mate, and we'll catch up.
Yeah, you too, mate. If I can get a driver, I'll be up there.
Mate, you let me know.
All right, Dom, love you. Thank you. We'll be talking about Regeneron very soon, all right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's I was sitting up in Osaka a couple of months ago so Regeneron started its life as as a MND therapeutics company, and it sort of is now back And and so they've produced this therapy called an siRNA, but even more intriguingly, they've got a little lead molecule on the siRNA that just talks to neurons. So they can just pop this molecule into neurons, so not into glia or microglia. It's really, so I was sitting with the head of Regeneron, a really lovely neurologist, Oren Levy, and the chief scientific officer, a tremendous young woman, Lee Pham. And I had to say to them, listen, you don't really quite get it, that I'm so old that I remember reading the first paper about SOD1, and to be sitting here in Osaka talking about this is quite surreal.
It's phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's because you're 60, not 70. You're not that old, really.
You know, at the Sydney Tower, I met, there was a Japanese firefighter that flew over from Japan to climb the Sydney Tower the year that I was there. It was amazing.
Yeah, well. Well.
All right, you're all busy humans. I love you all very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Jane.
Thanks, Jane.
Thanks, Jane. Thank you. See you guys.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye, darling.